This is all but wrapped up. This trial happened very quickly, but again, not taking any questions from Hunter Biden. Would you have advised, if he was your client, Professor, would you have advised him to speak to the media after this, or just avoid that?
Absolutely not. He has to now think about sentencing. He has to think about what he's going to say. No, there shouldn't have been any statement. If any statement is made, it could be made by his very excellent lawyer, Abby Lowell, who did a great job against overwhelming odds. And I don't see any particular appellate issues, who knows, or new trial issues. So I think we're going to move to sentencing. There may be appellate issues that I'm not aware of, but we'll move to sentencing. Sentencing will be a probationary sentence almost certainly. And then, we'll see the campaigns. The Republicans will claim that, the president's son has been convicted of a felony, and Democrats will say the president's been convicted. The former president's been convicted of a felony. So we'll see dueling political charges. But it was wise for him, A, not to take the witness stand, and B, not to make any statement after all, he's not Donald Trump. He's not running for office. And so there's a very, very big difference there politically.
Yeah, it's odd timing, by the way, that his father, President Biden, will be speaking at a major gun violence prevention conference later this afternoon after Hunter Biden has been found guilty on gun-related charges. Any chance that the president mentions this afternoon or comments on the fact that now his son is convicted?
I think he has to, and I think he has to say, he said before, and will say, interfere in any way in this case, that justice has to take its course, that he loves his son, that he hopes his son has been completely rehabilitated, and he hopes that this can put the issue behind him. But I don't think he can avoid saying something about it. But what he'll say is not a criticism of the verdict, but acceptance of justice.
I'm not sure how much time we have with you, Professor, but in terms of the sentencing date, which we're awaiting that, is there any chance after sentencing is handed down that there would not be an appeal?
I have to look at the issues on appeal. I don't see any downside in appealing. Probably when he meets with his probation officer the way President Trump did yesterday, he'll take a different attitude than President Trump. He'll show remorse. He'll talk about how hard it was on his family, how his addiction took a toll on him. And, he'll apologize profusely without in any way diminishing any of his chances on appeal. But you have to see what the legal issues are. There's no real downside in taking an appeal, except that it would stay the sentence possibly. And if he wants to stay the sentence, taking an appeal is usually an effective way of doing that, since he's not a flight risk or a danger.
President Biden has said in a previous news interview that he would not pardon his son. Now, this was prior to the jury conviction, by the way. Any chance that changes today?
Oh, no. He doesn't. He's not going to pardon his son. And that will make it obviously somewhat harder for, if Trump gets elected president again, for him to pardon himself. If there are convictions. So far, there are no federal convictions, and Trump can't pardon himself from a state conviction, although the governor of the state or the parole board, whatever the right agency is, could do it in New York. But I don't think we're seeing pardons in either case here. I think we're seeing appeals in both cases, stays of sentence, and no prison time. And, the crimes are somewhat equivalent in the sense that both involve making alleged misstatements on forms. Those crimes are generally not prosecuted and are never almost given prison terms. So what we're seeing is symbolic tit-for-tat prosecutions, neither of which should have been brought. And for one, I'm happy for Biden that he got that it's over for him. I wish he had gotten an acquittal. He didn't deserve to be prosecuted, but neither did Trump. But we live in a different world today, where people are prosecuted for crimes, not because of what they did, but because of who they are, in violation of one of the oldest biblical prohibitions. In the Bible, it says the judges do not recognize faces. And here, of course, the prosecutors clearly recognize faces. They would never have prosecuted either Trump or Biden if their names hadn't been Trump and Biden.